my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to take you through a short sequence to do after a run. So we're going to be stretching out the legs, and we're also going to be focusing on the core a little bit. We're not going to do a huge warm-up because this is sort of meant to be done after a run. So if you need to warm up a little bit, I'd recommend maybe just doing a couple of sun salutations just to get your body a little bit warm and ready. Otherwise, just make sure that you have any props you may need, so any bricks or straps, and as always, just go at your own pace and do what feels comfortable. And let's begin. So we're going to start in an all fours position. So bringing your shoulders over your wrists, knees hip distance apart, and going to ground down through your left hand and reach your right arm out long, and then engaging your core, you're going to reach your left leg back. I'm just going to hold here, stretching back with your leg, reaching forward with your arm, gazing forwards, really switching on your core here. Taking nice deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And you can either stay here, or if you can reach back and grab hold of your left foot, and then just get a slight gentle back bend here, opening up your chest, stretching through your shoulder. And release. Coming over to the other side, so grounding down through your right hand, reaching your left arm out long, right foot back behind you, engaging your core. Gaze out in front of you. And then again, either staying here or taking hold of your right foot with your left hand and just opening up, getting a nice little gentle back bend here. And release. And then we're going to come into puppy pose. So keeping your knees hip distance apart. Just going to walk your hands out in front of you, bringing your forearms down onto the mat, sinking your chest down, and bringing your forehead onto the mat, opening up your shoulders, opening up the space under your armpits. Sinking your chest down towards the mat. And then slowly walking your hands up, coming back onto your heels, placing your hands on the mat. We're just going to bring your feet as wide as the mat, and your toes are pointing outwards, your heels turned in slightly. And then I'm just going to drop your hips down, coming into our yogic squat malasana. So you might want to grab your 2 bricks and place them under your heels if your heels don't reach the mat. And otherwise, bringing your hands to your heart center, using your elbows on the inside of your knees with a gentle pressure, pressing them outwards, opening up your hips, lifting your chest. And you can just take some slight gentle movements, just swaying slightly from side to side. Or just staying still, keeping your spine nice and straight. And then placing your hands on the mat, you're going to slowly straighten your legs, bringing your feet hip distance apart. I'm just going to take a nice deep forward fold here, coming into ragdoll, so keeping your knees bent, grabbing hold of opposite elbow, hanging your head. And you shake your head out, releasing any tension in your neck. And just slowly letting gravity just open up the backs of your legs, your hamstrings. So making sure that the weight is shifted into the balls of your feet. And then releasing your elbows. You're going to interlace your hands behind your back. If you can, bringing your palms together to touch. And then just stretching out your shoulders, bringing your arms over your head. And then keeping your hands interlaced, we're going to slowly come up to standing. So bending your knees, making sure your head and neck come up last. Keeping your hands interlaced, we're just going to take a slight gentle back bend here, opening up your chest. And release. So coming to the top of your mat, bringing your big toes together, heels slightly apart, hands down by your sides, gaze forwards, and then inhale, going to sweep your arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, we're going to fold forwards, bringing your hands to the mat. You can bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, coming up onto your fingertips, looking forward. Exhale, step or hop back, making your way through your chaturanga or knees, chin, chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, we're just going to take a nice little calf stretch. So you're going to bring your right foot behind your left heel. Really trying to draw your heels down towards the mat, making sure that you keep your shoulders square to the mat, spreading your fingers nice and wide, index fingers pointing forwards. And then we're just going to swap sides, so bringing your left foot behind your right heel, stretching out your right calf. And then coming back to your downward facing dog. And then from here, going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands, coming into our runner's lunge, low lunge. So coming up onto your fingertips, looking forwards. Keeping your back heel lifted. And then from here, we're going to come down onto your left knee. And we're just going to come into our half Hamanasana, half splits. So flexing your right foot, keeping your leg nice and straight. And inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, just going to fold forward over your right leg. Making sure that you keep your hips nice and squared. You tuck under your back foot. And then coming up, I'm going to place your hands inside your right foot, coming into our lizard. So you can either stay here, or if you want, you can lift your back leg. And you can also stay upright, or if you like, coming all the way down onto your forearms. And then opening out your right knee, coming onto the knife edge of your right foot. Opening up your hips. You can stay still, or if you like, you can just take a couple of gentle circles going one way and then going the other way. Really working into your hips. And then coming up, you're going to place your left hand down, coming onto your left knee if you're not there already. And I'm just going to place your right hand onto your right knee and just gently open up your hips so you're on the knife edge of your right foot, gazing over your right shoulder. And you can stay here, or if you can reach back, grab hold of your left foot and just gently bring it in towards your bum, getting a nice quad stretch in your left quad. Gazing over your right shoulder. And slowly release. And then we're going to heel toe your right foot over to your left wrist, setting up for our pigeon pose. So making sure that your hips are nice and squared, coming up onto your fingertips. And you can either stay here, you might want to grab a block and just place it underneath your right hip. And if you want to, you can just start to walk your hands out, coming all the way down. You can make a little pillow with your hands. Making sure that you keep your hips nice and squared. Taking nice deep inhales and exhales. Breathing into any tight spots. And then slowly coming up. I'm just going to sit on your right hip, swing your left leg round. And bringing the sole of your right foot in to your left thigh. And you're going to inhale to prepare, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, folding forward over your left leg, bringing your hands to wherever they come. So you might be on your shin or coming round to grab hold of your foot. Inhale to prepare, exhale, fold forwards. Every inhale, create a bit more space, and every exhale, see if you can just go a little bit further. Keeping your left leg engaged, flex your left foot. And then slowly coming up, I'm going to place your right hand behind you. I'm just going to sweep your left arm up, lifting up with your hips, coming onto your right knee, reaching back behind you. Gaze behind you towards your left hand. And then slowly coming back down and then crossing over your legs, coming back through your vinyasa. So exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll take the left side. So inhale, sweep your left leg up. As you exhale, place it in between your hands, coming into our low lunge, our runner's lunge. Gaze forward, open up your chest, keeping your back heel lifted. And then coming down onto your right knee, straightening your left leg, keeping your left foot flexed. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, folding forward, coming into our half splits. Getting a nice hamstring stretch here. And then coming all the way up, placing your hands inside your left leg and either staying here for your lizard with your leg down, or if you like, you can lift your leg off the mat. And again, staying still or just taking those slight hip circles, going one way and then the other way. Just opening up your hip gently. And then staying up on your hands, or if you can just walk your hands down, coming onto your forearms. You can come onto the knife edge of your left foot, opening up your knee. Again, staying still or still working those slight gentle movements, just really working into your hips, just making sure that you don't force anything. And then slowly coming up, placing your right hand down, coming back onto your right knee if you're not there already. And then just placing your left hand on your right knee and just gently opening up your hip. Making sure that you're on the knife edge of your left foot. Gazing over your left shoulder. And again staying here or taking hold of your right foot and gently just bringing it in towards your bum. Looking over your left shoulder. Your nice quad stretch here. Making sure that you breathe into any tight spots. And then slowly release your foot if you had hold of it. And then we're going to heel toe your left foot over to your right wrist, coming into our pigeon. So making sure that with pigeon, that you just come to where you feel comfortable and where you feel the stretch. So your leg might be at more of a right angle, or it might be much closer to your hip. Everybody is slightly different, and you will feel the stretch at different places. So inhale, making sure that you're keeping your hips nice and squared, keeping nice and lifted. And inhale to prepare, and then exhale, just walking your hands out if that feels comfortable, and coming down, placing your forehead on your hands, making a little pillow if that feels nice. And just slowly quietening down here. Enjoying the peace, the quiet. And then slowly coming up, coming onto your left hip, swinging your right leg round. And then I'm going to bring your left foot to the inside of your left thigh, keeping your right foot flexed. Inhale, sweep your arms up, and as you exhale, folding forward over your right leg. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold forwards. Making sure that your chest is over your leg and you're reaching your heart forward, so you don't want to be rounding through your spine. Really thinking about going forwards rather than down and over. And then slowly coming up. Placing your left hand behind you, and we're going to sweep your right arm up, coming up, lifting your hips. Gaze behind you, gaze at your right hand, reaching your right arm back. And then coming down, and then crossing over your ankles, either stepping or hopping back through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, we're just going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky on an inhale. And exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow and hold. And then bring it over to your right elbow. And then back up to three-legged dog. And release. Same on the other side. So inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow and hold. Engage your core. Back over to your left elbow and then back up and release. I'm just going to do that one more time on each side. So inhale, sweep your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow and hold. Back over to your right elbow. Back up, three-legged dog. And release. Left side, inhale, sweep your left leg up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow and hold. Keeping your knee lifted. Back over to the left elbow. And back up, three-legged dog. And release. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Just taking a moment to reset. Spreading your fingers nice and wide. And then from here, we're going to come into our dolphin pose. So you can bring in your forearms down onto the mat, either one at a time or both together. So making sure that your elbows are shoulder distance apart. Keeping your fingers spread nice and wide. And we're just going to walk your feet in as far as you can. Really pushing away from the mat with your hands and your arms and your forearms. Lifting your hips nice and high. Two more breaths. And release, coming down onto your knees. Sitting back into a child's pose, bringing your forehead down onto the mat, knees wide, toes together. Just taking a couple of breaths. And then coming up onto your knees, and we're going to take our puppy pose again. So walking your hands out, bringing your forehead down onto the mat. If you have the space, you can bring your chin down onto the mat instead. Really thinking about sinking your chest down. Opening up your shoulders, opening up your chest. Slowing down your breath. And then we're just going to walk our hands back and we're going to come into a toe stretch. So tucking under your toes, we're just going to sit back onto our heels. And we're going to stay here for a little while. It's not the most comfortable pose, but it's really nice for stretching out your feet, which is really important when you've been running. So placing your hands into your lap, closing your eyes. And while you're here, I just want you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And then release. Coming forwards onto your hands, so just going to tap out our toes. Ooh, feels nice. And then we're just going to, from here, sit back onto your heels, bringing your hands behind you, fingers pointing forwards. I'm just going to take a very gentle stretch in your ankles here. So as you lean back, we're just going to lift your knees off the mat. And they might just come off just a little tiny bit. So just go to wherever you feel comfortable. You can come down onto your forearms if that's available to you. Just making sure you don't force this. You should just be feeling a nice stretch on the tops of your feet and your ankles. And slowly coming up. Coming into Baddha Konasana, so bringing the soles of your feet together, drawing them in towards you, knees open wide. And we're just going to take hold of the outside edges of your feet and just open up your feet. And say that you imagine that you're reading a book. You can bring your elbows onto your knees and just have a gentle pressure downwards, reaching your chest forwards. Opening up your hips. And coming up. And then this time we're going to bring your feet out a little bit wider, so you're getting a nice diamond shape with your legs. And this time we're going to round through your spine, thinking about bringing your head to the space in between your feet. Taking nice deep breaths, creating a little bit more space with every breath. And slowly coming up. And then coming onto our backs, we're just going to take a happy baby to finish. So grabbing hold of the outside edges of your feet or the two peace fingers around your big toes. Just making sure that you keep your lower back on the mat as much as you can. And then just drawing your knees in towards your armpits. And you can just sway here gently from side to side. And release. And then coming down for a final resting pose at Shavasana. So bringing your feet as wide as a mat, palms facing upwards, arms out. And just taking a couple of deep releasing breaths here. So inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. One more. Inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And then just letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. Please stay here for as long as you need to. But if you're ready to move on with your day, you're just going to slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe circling your wrists and your ankles. Stretching your arms out overhead, getting a nice deep stretch all the way through your body. Pointing your toes. And then rolling over to your right or your left side, just taking a moment here, making a pillow with your hands if that feels nice. And keeping your eyes closed, going to slowly come all the way up to seated. Bring your hands to your heart center. Open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe and comment below, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.